Ow! Podcast number 29.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the clip art from our last one, and it's 29.
29, damn. We're deep in this.
I listened to some of last week's podcast, and you were like, "Oh, we should use our faces on the badges," and I totally forgot about it, and I had already done the thumbnail, and I was like, we're going with this one, even though we talked about this one thing for 2 seconds, but whatever. Anyways, what's going on, son? What is going on? Another podcast where we're slowly itching towards the new year. I just realized this, that... Oh, no, I'm completely wrong. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Okay, go ahead. So what's going on with you?
Oh, what?
No, I thought the first of the year was on Monday, and I was going to be like, we're going to drop a podcast on the first of the year.
No, that is inaccurate.
That's why I didn't say it.
We'll have to do one. We're going to do one next.
Yeah, we got to do one for every week. We normally do.
How are we going to do it next week?
We'll figure it out. We're
going to be in space and shit.
No, but I can still post it. I can post it the day of. Post it the Monday or whatever. I mean, I'm hoping that maybe Boski will make some time for us or some shit, and we can film some there. Or, dude, I'm just getting irritated contacting people to do podcasts because either people don't check their emails or their private messages on YouTube. I feel like remember how I was bitching like about a year ago about how fucking fitness YouTubers are full of shit about being positive and trying to help out their viewers.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody and their mother either doesn't check their emails, maybe I check my email too much, maybe. I don't know. But nobody's getting back to me about shit. And it's not like I'm contacting them with this YouTube channel's contact info. Like I'm contacting them with the fitness one, so they're like, oh, this guy's somewhat legitimate and he's not talking about fucking DNA bullets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're going to be like listening to DNA bullets and they're going to think, well, yeah, I don't want to be on that podcast. He said DNA bullets.
Yeah, that's probably true. They might not. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
But that's why I'm contacting them from the other account. So it dumbfounds me that just nobody gets back to me. It's not like I have like fuckyourmom@gmail.com when I'm emailing people. You know what I mean?
You should. That should be the email. I say, speaking of all that good stuff, you got a comment today on the old YouTube channel.
Which video? Darksiders?
A Darksiders one.
What do they want to know? Why isn't this a remastered edition?
Yeah, they're probably like, what is this shit? There we go, notifications. Okay. Put this person on blast. You want me to give you his name?
Is it a positive or negative comment?
It's a negative comment.
Then I don't want you giving him any more attention than we need to. So what was this comment?
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me tell you what video we're watching. Back in the day, Daddy over here did a walkthrough on Darksiders Part 2. And this is a full walkthrough for the whole game. If you don't know, Darksiders is a very long game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did every single side quest except for one. Except for one, which is like getting all the crystals throughout the whole map, which I was like, all right, I'm not doing that.
Okay, so we're on Darksiders Part 2 walkthrough. Part 73.
I forgot how long that was.
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
that's dedication.
That's a lot of videos.
All right. This guy, plain and simple, says, you suck.
That's it?
That's all he says, plain and simple.
YouTube, you gotta love the love you get from
to
YouTube
which
comments.
I was gonna reply, so did your mom last night, but I didn't feel that was appropriate.
You can reply whatever you want. Like for me, that first playthrough, so when we were first doing walkthroughs, because we were doing full walkthroughs on your channel, and it was always like a struggle because we had a hard time getting any subscribers. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, well, maybe we'll do a full walkthrough, but we got to get it out as quickly as possible so that, we get more hype on the channel. And I remember we picked that game up overnight. Like, I mean, midnight or whatever.
Yeah, you stayed out for a midnight release.
Yeah, we got it. And actually, I think it released the same time as Halo for some reason. I remember that.
Yeah.
And we picked it up. And I came back home after you and I went to GameStop. And I literally started playing and filming videos so I could get them up like within hours. The problem is that we're just like, we were noobs at this, and there are people who had already had incredibly large subscriber counts who got the game early and had the videos rendered and filmed and rendered, and all they were doing was waiting for the official release time, which, by the way, they can release it like on East Coast time, which means that they 3 hours ahead. Yeah, so by the time I got it out, it wasn't the first video by any means, and we're never going to hit that unless we become a legitimate big name in YouTube, which I doubt is going to happen. But
hey, man, we were going good for a while.
Yeah, but I remember getting that video out like right away. So in my defense, those first that series, although quite good if you want to know about like specific things and how to get them, it's I'm not like super good at the game. Like you'll look at guys, for example, like Maximilian or the Rad Brad, and they play games and they're really good at games. And I don't know if they've already done like a couple hours worth of gameplay where they're very good with the controls already, but I was sloppy with the controls. Yeah. For example, I don't know what my completion time of that game was via YouTube. And keep in mind, for YouTube, I did all the extra junk that the playthrough came with. They like all the little side missions. I did all of that for YouTube. But I remember afterwards, I replayed the game for just enjoyment purposes, and I didn't do all the side quests, and I didn't film it. And I remember I almost half the time it took me to do it. Now, keep in mind, I didn't do the side quest, but I nearly halved my playthrough time, and a lot of that just came down to knowing the controls a lot better. There wasn't as much flurbs. I wasn't trying to... Darksiders is a platformer in some ways, in some regards, and so jumping from side to side and climbing walls and using the objects, the specials in the game, it wasn't second nature for me. And so the second time around, I smashed that game. Like I went through it so quickly. So in their shitty defense, I did kind of suck at it for sure. But that's a good game either way. I'm disappointed that the first one wasn't as good, but that just makes sense that it would be as good.
Damn, I forgot I was putting out legitimate...
You're putting a lot of videos and you just lacked. That's why I was like, hey, how about that laptop? How about that laptop? Which we haven't talked about ever again. And I was like, all right.
I'll give it to you sometime soon. No, I was putting out like legitimate videos. It was me in front of the camera giving comic book picks.
Yeah, you were doing comic book reviews, and then you were doing like TV show synopsises.
I was productive.
Synopses.
I was productive at one point in my life, son.
Well, that's why I was like, you need to get on top of that shit. And a lot of people, you know how their channels get big is when they do like episode synopsis.
I thought you were gonna be like gay for pay.
Maybe in the fitness community, but no, when they do like because yours was very comic book driven, and so like when the Flash comes out, people reviews episodes or talk about them or whatever, and that's you got to get those out quick though. And don't have to be super complicated. You did a really good job for a while because you were taking clips from the show and then talking about it. But I don't know what the hell happened. You just got lazy or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that's interesting.
And now would have been a good time to do it because there's so much shit now. There's like Jessica Jones. There's Daredevil. There's Luke Cage. There's The Flash. I hear Supergirl's not good, but that's around. I mean, there's a lot of shows you could have gone with. And reviewed. And the freaking Marvel movies are one every 3 months.
Yeah, there's a ton. There is a ton. I'm just like looking at some of the views on the Darksiders videos. Altogether, you have 127 Darksider videos.
Wow.
That's a lot, man.
I thought you were going to say, altogether, the whole series, you have 127 views.
No. Some of the numbers are crazy.
That's about right.
Some of the numbers are actually pretty crazy. You got 12,000 on one.
Probably because of the side quest videos. Like, people are probably very curious in how to do them.
Yeah, maybe. It was just surprising.
I thought about rebuying that game now that we had a PS4, so that like I guess get the remastered edition. But I'm like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I got the remastered BioShock collection and asked me if I've even popped that in there yet.
I haven't popped that in.
No, not at all.
No.
So what's got going on, dog?
Nothing, man. I had the whole week off. Oh,
I wish I could have the whole week off. I'm
time.
getting back. I got back from a sickness. I don't know what the hell happened to me last weekend, dude. And it's
something going around.
I don't think it's a sickness because like the antibiotics are not gonna let me get sick for the most part. But it was like maybe it's food poisoning or stomach flu or something. I don't know, man. But I got some shit. Got me. It took me down. It took me down for a whole day. And I don't know which I dislike more. If I dislike taking a day off of work, essentially not making money for a day because I'm sick, or if I dislike getting sick on a weekend where it's my time off. I don't know what's worse. But it all sucks when you're sick, so who gives a fuck?
I guess that's a good way to look at it. It doesn't really matter. You're losing something anyways.
Yeah, either money or my time. So
yeah.
I wasn't happy about that. I was
what'd
like,
you eat?
I don't
You're
know.
like nothing, just some raw meat.
I was like, I just didn't cook meat. I thought I was like a wolf. No, that day, like my appetite was kind of low, so I had breakfast, and then I didn't eat for a long period of time because I was gonna go out with my uncle, and then he took me to some restaurant, some barbecue restaurant, and I don't know what it was. We all ate different
barbecue,
things.
Man.
Maybe, I don't know, man. It was. I don't know. Who knows? I was just pissed off about it. But I will say I have learned something about human nature in my sickness. You don't know what it is?
What?
You don't know how much you take a good bowel movement for granted until you cannot have a normal one.
Oh, fuck.
I'm serious, man. There's a time where I'm just like, let's just hope this is back to normal.
So I hope this is a normal log.
let's just hope I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? It's just
I don't even want you to finish this next sentence.
let's just pretend you know what I'm saying, and we'll just move forward. But overall, man, I'm glad to be back to working out, back to getting shit done. Like I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I lost 2 days of productiveness there. I could have gotten some more shit done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost done with painting, and there's only a few rooms left, and I'm like, in that time I could have gotten those rooms done. Could officially like
maybe that's what got you
done painting.
Got you sick. You're
all
inhaling
the fumes from paint. It's quite possible.
I don't know how you don't like crack any windows or anything.
I don't crack windows.
You just had the spray.
I
we're going hardcore in here.
You know how nowadays everybody apparently has like a peanut allergy, and moms are like, "Oh, don't give my child peanuts because he's gonna have a reaction, and then we have to shoot him with an EpiPen." You know that shit. I have the opposite reaction. I'm like, if I had kids, I'm like, I'm slowly giving you peanuts at birth.
That's right.
And just slowly building up your tolerance till you can just depend on peanuts for life.
Yeah, no, that's what you gotta do.
And so that's my philosophy with everything. So me hotboxing in a paint room is the same shit. I just gonna develop a tolerance to everything
just in
life.
case World War III breaks
that's
out.
Right. I'm ready, dude.
And Russia drops like, I don't know, mustard gas or something.
I'm ready to go.
You're just gonna walk through that shit. You're like, I've been in a room filled with paint fumes.
I'm ready to go.
Good.
Bring it on, dog.
Like nerve gas. You're like, I'm good.
That's
I don't even know what you guys are coughing about.
That's probably why my immune system is as good as it is, because I expose it to all kinds of random shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I eat raw chicken. That does not affect me at all. I've done that before when I sucked at cooking. And I remember when I got into like fitness and stuff, I was like cooking. And I remember going to work, taking chicken. And then I'm like, chicken's supposed to be crunchy.
Oh.
I've been into one and I was like, that you know when you bite your lip? And
jeez.
And when you bite your lip, it's like a popping crunch. It's like it's not like it's not a Fruity Pebbles crunch.
No,
it's not like a Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks crunch, but it's like
an old gummy bear.
It's like a definite like pop where you broke the skin.
It's like an old gummy bear.
Yeah, it's like that. And that was what my chicken was like. And asked me if I stopped eating it.
Like, nope.
Fuck no, gains, son. I had to get that proton in. So
in fact, you got more because it wasn't cooked.
That's right.
Because cooking takes out the protons.
And so now It's actually quite hard for me to get food poisoning, but something got me, so it must have been that barbecue.
That's actually what I tell some of the people at work too, because they like wash your hands for everything, and I'm like I believe in wash your hands, but like sometimes you're overdoing it. You're gonna get sick. Like you need some of those germs.
Yeah, well, the idea is that when you're like using all these antibacterials and you're wiping everything down, and you're always like super. If you're super crazy about being clean, you probably also get sick very often.
Yeah, that's
what I hardly ever get sick.
That's what I'm telling. I'm like, you need some germs. Like now, if the kid licks your hand, probably wash your hands. But like throughout the day, I think you could like 3 times maybe throughout the day, you'd be good. You don't need to do it every interaction with your child.
Yeah, you can't get soft. You can't get soft.
No, being soft. I'm like, you need to be hard. You need to get them germs.
That's right. We getting too soft here in America.
Like when they grab your food, don't be like, oh, I gotta throw this away. No, fuck that. You eat that food still.
We getting too soft. We went to a comedy show hours ago, which was actually the opening guy was the freaking main guy was so good. He had so many good jokes. I told Ruben on the way out, like if that guy would have just recorded that set tonight, I would have bought that recording. But he had a funny joke where he said, America is getting soft. He said, and I'm going to butcher this joke, so my apologies. What was his name? Brandon Owen?
Owen Benjamin.
Okay, close enough. My apologies, Owen Benjamin. But he said, we're getting soft in America. He's like, back in the day, if you told somebody you were juicing, you're like, oh, that dude's doing steroids. Now in the days, it's like, oh, I need to have kale and ginger root and apples. Like, it's true. We getting soft as vanilla ice cream in the Arizona sun in the middle of the summer. Like, it's people getting soft as shit. Oh, that would have been a better analogy. Soft as shit.
It's true, man. People are getting soft. Getting marshmallowy soft.
What are you gonna do though, man? What are you gonna do? And the thing is just like, look, if the whole world was getting soft as fuck, then I'd be like, oh, who gives a fuck, right? No, but there's motherfuckers in Russia right now who are like just destroying, or trying to just stay alive against the winter. And they're like, no, we're going to kill those Americans.
Yeah. You know how in Game of Thrones, they're always like, winter's coming? That's their whole life. Those people on the other side of the wall, that one girl that Jon Snow banged in that cave, that's their life all the time in Russia over there. All the time. They just fight demons that come out of the wilderness with their bare hands.
They're just fighting dire wolves.
Yeah, it's just all the fucking time. They make friends with them. Just all the time. Ice dragons, demon skeleton people, all kinds of shit. They're just taking in stride, man. Got Zangief looking motherfuckers out there just popping up for no reason. Take them down. That's what you gotta do. Gotta be hard.
Hard in the paint.
That's right. That's right, man. And now those Russians are getting ready for war, so.
Why? What do you mean?
Yeah, you need to get some current events on you, son.
I don't listen to the news, man. Every time I turn the news on, somebody's bitching about Trump or Hillary's talking about something, and I'm like, I'm over this shit. Is this shit over yet? Like, we live in a fucking simulation at this point. Like it's just all too comical.
It is.
Like, the new president-elect is meeting with Kanye West. I'm like, what? That dude just got out of the crazy bin and is just like, hey, let's meet with the future president of America. Hey, I don't know what the hell's going on. The whole thing is just kind of like a weird. It's like the writers of Seinfeld are just writing what's going on at this point.
Kanye want to talk, man. Kanye calls, you gotta go talk to Kanye. Apparently. Yo, did you hear? Speaking of Kanye, did you hear Kanye's maybe having some marriage problems with Kim over there?
I guess I don't know. I don't follow any of that shit too much. It's just, you alright, son? You got freaking throat cancer?
I might.
I don't pay attention to any of that shit too much. I sometimes see it like on the Yahoo splash page, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course why wouldn't he have problems with that crazy ass family?
Yeah.
Like I think. Who fucking said it? I think Bill Burr. I feel like I'm stealing jokes left and right. But Bill Burr talked about, like, of course Kanye is going to go insane. That dude was already super neurotic and super, not self-centered is the word I'm looking for, but he was self-centered. And then he goes and marries, like, the craziest female family in the world, where, like, their way of fixing things is getting more surgery and taking ass pics and trying to make more money. And that family's so crazy that the only other male in that household went fucking crazy, and he had a sex change, like an ex-Olympic athlete had fucking went crazy and then had a sex change, murdered a motherfucker in her car or his car or whatever the fuck, whatever stages he was at, murdered a motherfucker, and nobody's talking about that. They're all talking about how strong she is for coming out to everybody. It's like, come on, man. Like, this dude just murked somebody. This dude just Grand Theft Auto the motherfucker, and nobody's talking about that. If I Grand Theft Auto the motherfucker, I wouldn't be talking to you in this podcast. And if I would, it would sound like Usher Confessions when he's calling through the freaking digital phone.
So sit here in the world.
Yeah, pretty much. So that whole family's fucked. How did you not expect that super neurotic guy to not go crazy?
It's true.
And the craziest part is now he's tied to that family because he's got a kid with her.
They got 2 kids or 1 kid?
I don't know. 1, I think.
And then, I don't know, because I don't really follow up that much into it. I just hear, like, side bits and secondhand news of it. Apparently, all right, they have another brother. What's his name? What's his name? Ron.
Yeah, and he's getting divorced.
Yeah, and apparently, first thing, the person he had a baby with is apparently named Black China, so whatever. That doesn't seem like a good...
the whole family's fucked.
Good
dude.
life choice for you, but whatever. Apparently, he came home, and she took the baby and everything. And I'm like, does anything real happen to you? Just like when she supposedly got kidnapped or held hostage over there in France. Kim.
That was a little shady.
Yeah, I'm like, people aren't over here doing that.
I guess my new question to you is why you got so much time to fucking listen to all this bullshit? Why aren't you doing more something productive with your life instead?
I can tell you why. Because in the morning, when I'm taking me and my sister going to work, we have satellite radio, and then they do like an entertainment news thing, and they like give you real quick like entertainment news, and that's why I know like that. But they don't go into any more detail, and so that's all the detail I know. I just know the very topical thing that happened. You'd be like, "Oh, what happened there?" I'm like, "No, that was it. That's all I know. I don't know any more details about it."
Yeah, the whole family's fucked. I mean, that whole family's what's wrong with America.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with you there. I said it's a true statement. In fact, I would go so far to say as that might be why Donald Trump won. That in Russia or whatever. But, mostly that. Mostly the Kardashians are probably why he won. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, anyways, what else going on with you?
Nothing, man. Just been at home playing that Pokemon. On that Pokemon tip, son.
How you liking that version? I haven't played a Pokemon game in like 4 generations.
It's good, but some things have changed. I think my Pokemon are leveling up way too easy.
I've been watching kind of clips of people playing that game, and it seems like that game has been more generous in many ways. Like money-wise, it seems like you get a lot more money.
Yeah, I almost have $200,000.
That's insane. And a couple other ways, like leveling seems a little easy. You have to grind less, which is fine because I'd like to grind less in certain aspects. Those games, like I don't like the grinding.
Yeah, like my sister.
Nothing wrong with a little pump and grind. What song is that?
R. Kelly before he peed on people.
Oh. Or maybe he was already peeing on people. Have you thought about that? Maybe he was already showering girls and you didn't even just know about it. Hey, man, you don't automatically pee on a girl and that's the first girl you peed on when you get discovered. That's probably
you might.
No, I doubt it.
Sometimes you're just like, I need to try something new.
Yeah, you're probably the kind of guy who believes that Jared only had one picture of little kids in his fucking computer.
Had a fuck ton, freak. Dude, I have not eaten at Subway.
I haven't either. But not because of the Jared
No, not
thing,
because of that. Just because
dog shit food
last
now.
time,
I'm over it.
Yes, did I go with you last time? I think we went together and we're like, this tastes like dog shit.
Yeah, it just tastes like cardboard now for some reason.
Which is crazy because you used to eat there like all the time.
Yep.
Like every meal.
That's back in the day though when it was the only like somewhat healthy option. Like that's why they became popular because they were so quote unquote healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you got McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Burger King, KFC, that's all you got. And so you're like, well, this is a better option. It's got color in it,
Yeah.
But the problem is that the breads are really like cardboardy, and then the meat. I mean, if you get like turkey, it looks like turkey that you'd buy in a store, right? Because it's all the same shit. But if you get the chicken breast, you're like, that's not real chicken. Kind of looks like chicken, but it's like the equivalent to the same process that the turkey was made in.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
We finally got my sister her DS, and the dude was selling it with the game, so she got both of them. And she started like 2 hours before I left. Now, your Pokemon started off at level 5. She was already at level 10 on both of them.
Has that always been the case? It started at 5?
Mm-hmm. So they're a little bit easier to start up. She was only playing for like 2 hours. Maybe less than that, actually, because the intro takes forever.
I like the fact that you don't have to do HMs anymore. That's really
useful. That's helpful. That's fucking great. That's a good thing. But
they should have never designed HMs to take up an action slot. They should have had that be a completely different thing. That's so dumb, because then sometimes if you got like a certain move, it becomes completely useless in fighting, and you need somebody to just do all the stupid shit that you need to do around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, so now, you have that option. That's a good option. Yeah, for real, but it's a good option. I like that. What else has changed? Just, I think the world's bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, Johto, Kanto were pretty big.
I think this one's bigger. You go to, I think there's 5 different islands you go to. In each island, you travel around the whole island. So, because in Johto, you could, make the whole, you could, travel around it. This one, you gotta, fly around it. There's no path.
So Charizard comes in, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, Charizard.
Holla, my boy, Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
Charizard for life.
You still got all your Pokemon cards?
Fuck to the yeah.
All right, so let's put them up for sale.
Are you kidding me right now? Can't get any money for them. Now they reprinted the freaking original base set. It's probably they're just worth nothing. Like expensive coasters. I might as well just keep them for the memories and the tears that remind me of how much money I spent on those things.
Know one way we can see if they're worth anything. Go to this website with things that you can buy.
Are you afraid to tell people you're going to OfferUp?
I'm going to OfferUp, people. Oh shit, they're hiring.
At OfferUp?
Let's see.
So while we're on the topic of interesting, so OfferUp is preparing for tax season?
I guess.
I mean, I wonder how they're getting revenue.
I don't
see any ads on here.
I have no clue. All right, what am I looking for? Pookie. Oh, there you go.
So we're talking about video games for the small brief time, because I don't know if we should alienate half of the viewers here. But I was thinking about, we were actually talking about how much for that Arcanine.
Give me a number you think in your head. All right, let me paint the picture for everybody. It's an original Arcanine from what year? 99, 2000, 2001, somewhere around that time. Okay? So everybody knows. Okay, now give me a price what you would pay for that.
What I would pay for it?
And what you think it would be. If you had this card right now and put it on OfferUp and wanted somebody to buy it from you, what would that price be?
I would be logical. People on OfferUp apparently think their shit's worth more than it is, but I think that dude has it listed for like $20, but I think it's worth like $2.
Okay, you'd be wrong on both accounts, but you are right in the fact that he thinks it's worth a lot.
That dude go suck a dick. $450 for an Arcanine card?
Yeah.
What's it got in it? Like he's got like a freaking fur of it attached to the card?
I don't know, man. That's the first thing that popped up. It caught my eye. I go,
what does it say on the thing?
He goes, very rare Pokemon card. That's all he says.
What's his rating? Like 0? He's like a 13-year-old child. He shouldn't even be on the website.
Let's see. Izzy, it might be a girl.
Send her a message. Be like, why is it a rare card?
No rating. She's fucking trolling people. First edition, Monchat.
Whatever.
Crazy.
Crazy.
That is my one complaint with OfferUp. People think they're
Yeah, I've been
shit
comparing.
is worth
Like, look, the good thing is everybody's
way too
using it, so you
much.
can find a lot of stuff. But like stuff that's actually worth some money, like maybe a couple $100. People increase the shit. Like, there's these watches. Like, so I was looking at a couple G-Shocks, and people posting used G-Shocks for more than what you can go buy them brand new for. I'm like,
Yeah.
do you not? First of all, depreciating value is a thing. Look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, do you not look up what the new cost of that thing, that 30-year-old thing that you're trying to sell is before you post it up? That's just dumb. Guys, like, I paid $180 for it. I'm like, well, just because you were swindled doesn't mean that you're gonna get me to pay you more for something that you got.
Well, just like when we were trying to get a DS for my sister, dudes have remember that white one that came out a few months ago, right around Thanksgiving on Black Friday?
Yeah.
People had that one up for $200. I'm like, you bought that for $100, brand new, plus tax. What, $115 maybe?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be generous.
Money.
And then you played it, and now you're telling me it's worth $200. What is wrong with you? Like, that's not how this stuff works. I don't find that problem on Craigslist. Granted, I haven't been on Craigslist in a while, but
No, Craigslist doesn't have that much of that problem. People are generally a little bit better with their assumptions of what their shit's worth, but it's insane to me. So anyways, while we're talking about games, we were talking earlier about Street Fighter V, and Street Fighter V just released Akuma as a player, which wasn't available before, and I wanted to like talk about that because I still feel like that might be the end of the Street Fighter franchise, and I'm not like super attached to the franchise, but for me it is a little sad because I mean there was a franchise that I went ahead and like played with my uncle in arcades. I remember playing Street Fighter 2 was the first one I ever played in the arcades, and it's just sad, man, that like the focus of that game specifically has been changed. Now it's more about competitive play and esports, and less about just casual play and people like you and I who are just gonna pick it up and play. Versus like there's the story mode is dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to almost pay for every character now. The story doesn't progress anywhere. It doesn't really do anything. You got new characters that are really like dog shit for no reason created. Like what's that? Nikali. It's just a sad thing just to see that franchise just being worthless at this point. It's not good, and I guess it's not even doing good and competitive. Like not a lot of people are playing it. It's kind of disappointing, but
it's a little disappointing, man. I was super hyped for it, but now because I played it, I'm like, we were playing it. We've been playing it the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I like 4 better.
And that's the conclusion I came to. I go 4 is better.
I like 4 better, but
4
I mean,
is easier. I think you're actually a little quicker. I think your inputs are quicker. Like when you're doing the move, I think it reads it better on 4. But then again, that could be controller issue because we played on 360. Now we're on PS4. But even Max was saying that last night when I was watching his stream. Because he was trying to do Raging Demons with Akuma. And he was like, it's not fucking working.
The Raging Demon is a pain in the ass. I saw those videos of his. And the Raging Demon is a pain in the ass because you have to have the V trigger on.
Yeah, you have to have the V trigger
and then
on.
you have to also have all the freaking bars filled or whatever. And I'm just like, this is an insane... Like, and I saw him do it a couple times, and it's not even that much life.
No.
I'm like, you're making me use a V trigger. This is some nerd shit right here. You're having me do a V trigger and use a handful of the bar just to do this move that only does a quarter damage. When that flame thing that he does, the thing where he reaches up and does a freaking, and whatever the hell it is, flame comes out of the ground. That thing does way more damage. And it doesn't require a V trigger and special. Anyways, way too much nerd shit. But anyways, I was just sad to see that. Because I thought about that the other day, how like my uncle would take me to the arcades and the malls, and we would play Street Fighter 2. And did I ever tell you the story of when I got my uncle and I kicked out of an arcade in a mall?
Jeez, what'd you do?
When I was very, very young, I was probably like 6 or 7. I remember playing, that machine where you put the quarter on top and then it falls and that little tray's pushing the quarters.
Yeah.
And they're freaking magnetized to the freaking edge. And then that's the only way they come out. Well, apparently when I was little, I must have gotten mad because the coins wouldn't fall. So I think my uncle stepped away to get more quarters, and I think like I was upset and I pushed the machine.
Oh, and the buzzer went off?
The buzzer went off, and then he got us kicked out.
Fuck. Me and my sister did that.
Really?
Yeah. Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
And I think I was a little upset too because I think I ended up getting coins after I pushed it.
Damn, son.
Yeah, man.
Savage on that thing.
I remember my uncle took me. No. We were all going to like a laundromat for some reason, but they had arcade machines in the laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
And my uncle figured out that the little thing where you put the quarters in, you know, little back in the day, there's the little quarter machine. There was like a little plastic button. He found out that little thing wasn't even locked, or it was like loose. I can't remember what happened, but he said he would be able to. He could open it and hit some wires or something, and they would just give you free tokens in the game. Like it would activate it as if you were putting money in.
Jeez.
And we were playing this game, and I can't remember what it is, but I could have swore it's something that you would have played on Sega, where you were these characters, you were walking around, and you're like it's like a beat 'em up. It's like a Ninja Turtles beat 'em up. But I remember that from my youth. But
Speaking of, if you're into Ninja Turtles beat 'em ups, I have a video game on the YouTube channel. Straight Back Games channel,
yeah.
where we did a Ninja Turtle ones. I think it
We
was
should
me
have-
and you, or me and my sister.
I don't know. I can't remember.
One of them.
We should have lost in time.
We should do Lost in Time. Also, if you're into really, really good beat 'em ups, you know what everybody should watch. You know what everybody should watch on our channel. You know what everybody should watch on our channel.
What should they watch?
Double Dragon Neon full walkthrough. That shit is lit.
I'll link that down below. I'll link that down. I
Best
remember you were
greatest
playing it because you were
things ever.
hyped about getting it when it came out, and I came over to your house one day and I was like, "What are you playing?" And then I jumped in at the last few like parts of the game, and those are so much fun, man. I'll link the last video, which is to me like the epic final conclusion. I still think you need to stop bullshitting. You need to take some of those videos and clip them to the funniest pieces and then just re-upload like to Instagram or YouTube and re-upload them like a hits kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a here's a hits. Like, you know how for example, Max, he'll do like a compilation video of all of the stuff that he's trying to do, and it'll be like a funny video, or like his rage quits where it's like a compilation and stuff. That's what you got to do. Not go crazy like Max goes crazy, but just like the clip together the funniest stuff.
Maybe I should do that for Double Dragon. Once I get that new computer from you. You
Think
know I'm
about
good
that
for that
bullshit.
money eventually.
Think about that bullshit.
Hey man, I just bought a lot of shit. I bought your Christmas gift, bought my mom's Christmas gift, bought my dad's Christmas gift, bought my sister's
the
Christmas
wallet,
gift.
that's right.
Yeah. And dude, I went back with my sister to the place where I got that wallet.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm gonna get. Remember how I was saying? I'm gonna get a man wallet because I'm a man now. I need a professional looking wallet.
I was gonna tell you before I forget, because I'm gonna forget now. Don't forget your wallet story. You need to wear your wallet in your front pockets. You know, and
No.
men, I need to tell you this. All right, this is why you need to do this. I learned this from a friend, and it totally is true. The reason why you gotta do that is because when you're sitting down and you have a wallet in your ass, whether or not you or you rich as fuck, there's a density, and what's happening is that your hip is now misaligned because one side's higher than the other. It's like sitting on a phone book. If you had a fat ass wallet full of cash, you put a phone book on one ass cheek only and not on the other one, so that every time you're sitting, which most people sit for a fuck ton of their day, your hip is fucking hinged at that point, which throws a lot of shit off balance. And I've heard of guys, in fact, I had a friend of mine who he talked about this, he introduced this to me, that he has back problems because he fucked up his back from just sitting on his wallet all the time, especially because he had an office job. So now he doesn't keep his wallet at all with him. He's like, he got a bag or whatever. But I'm not saying to do that. What I'm saying is put it in your front pocket. That's what I've been doing lately. Plus, if you like wear super baggy pants, you know, I guess somebody could be real thievery like and steal your shit. Yeah, try reaching in my front pocket, see if I don't notice, motherfuckers. Try that shit. I'm gonna let you know my fucking gigantic man thighs. I'm gonna notice that.
Thank you for that.
My super deadlifting thighs.
I'm just letting you know what's up, ladies.
Letting we know what's up.
They look like thick ass Chung Li legs up on dude.
I'm like, you ever see glute thrusts? You should check out my YouTube channel. You'd be scared. You'd be like, I ain't fucking with
You're gonna
that,
be
dude.
scared. and trembling, but also a little
turned on.
A little turned on. You're gonna be a little humid.
You're gonna be all like, I want that, but as a fear. You know that fear you get when you bungee jump? You're like, I want to try that, but I could die.
The same thing?
Same thing. Exact same thing.
Especially the die part, huh?
You ever have your back blown out, dog? You ever have your back blown out? That ain't fun, all right?
That's why you have complimentary crutches, right?
I got to buy them group buys. I got to get them like in bulk Costco. They're like, oh, he's back for more. I'm like, yeah, I am. While I'm at it, where's those box condoms at?
Donkey size, right?
That's right. I got to get those at the feed store.
Oh, jeez. Took that way too far. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about that because, sometimes when I sell my wallet too long, my ass hurts. Which is why at work I take my wallet out because, I sit sometimes. I take my wallet out of my pocket so I don't sit on it.
Yeah. That's why I put in my front pockets. But then you can't wear skinny jeans. But fuck skinny jeans. Be a man and use regular man pants. How about that? Freaking skinny jeans.
Dude, just like I went to Walmart earlier today to buy pants because I need more pants because I only got 2 pairs of jeans. And I'm like, I can only wear these 4 days in a row so many times before I need more pants. Dude, they didn't have any man sizes over there. Which
is surprising because you would think Walmart catered to bigger people, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, all these sizes are like boy sizes. I need a man size. And you're like, well, what size do you wear? 50? I'm like, I'm only looking for 40. And I didn't see, and it wasn't like they had like a bunch of 38s. They didn't have any 38s. They didn't have any 36s. They barely had some. They had like 34s and like 32s and like 29s. I'm like, you're a goofy looking mofo if you got 29. What is that about?
29? That's some skinny dude.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, but anyways, so I went back to get a wallet and my ass hurts now that you told me about that.
See, I'm have you aware of it now.
I guess. So I went back to get a wallet because I was like, I need a professional looking wallet. Dude, they didn't have any wallets over there anymore.
They sold out?
Well, yeah, it looked like everybody bought them the weekend. Like when we go on Friday?
Sure.
It looked like everybody had bought them out, so they didn't have any. And then when I bought my dad's wallet, it was 60% off. The sale was 60% off. And I went yesterday, it was 50% off.
Wow.
I'm like, that's funny.
I wonder what it was on Black Friday.
Probably like free. We went there, didn't we? I think it was 60% off.
Maybe it was. So yeah, I mean it's not a bad deal, man. Because those are, straight leather wallets. It's not a bad deal at all.
Yeah, and I was still gonna get one, but they didn't have any. Like they only had the brown one. I think we were like the tan one. And I was like, I don't know if I roll with the light tan one.
I'm not a big fan of like browns and cream colors.
Yeah, it was like a cream color. That's a good way to put it. And I was like, I'm not sure I can go with that. Some people need to be shot.
What the hell, man? Anyways. So I got a new thing, dude. I got a new thing. Check this out. Because we're already 42 minutes into this. And
how are we 42 minutes into this?
I have no freaking idea, but we're balls deep in this podcast. We actually had some viewer questions. Can you believe that shit?
I don't fucking believe you.
Can you believe it? We had some requests from Boski. Boski, I don't think I found the text message with your questions, so we're going to have to do that next week. Hey, maybe you can ask it to us live, Boski, because I can now freaking find your text message. But Splinter Cell actually sent us questions, which I was like, Splinter Cell listens to the podcast?
He's like, I got to do something while I'm on missions.
He's like, I got to do something while I'm blowing out Al-Qaeda's head.
Yeah.
So,
he's like, we get YouTube over here in the Arabic desert. Did you know that? Like, no, I did not know that, Splinter Cell.
And like, he had a handful of questions that were pretty freaking deep. And so I'm wondering if we should take these like in different episodes, like one, maybe one an episode or whatever.
All right, give me one. Shoot me with the best one that can fill up 15 minutes of time. You're like, how big is too big? 16 inches is too big.
Do women prefer length or girth?
Oh, jeez.
I've had this conversation recently.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be a good one to have females talk about in the podcast.
It's like 16 inches is too big.
Dude, that's what we should do. This is a mobile setup. We should just walk around with this like in a high, like in a high female populated area, And just go to them and be like, we're having a podcast. We want your thoughts. Would you rather have length or girth? And then they'll go into that, and then be like, well, how much is too much length and how much is too much girth? Like if you see a dude you're getting with them, things getting heated, he's getting steamy, windows are getting a little fogged up, it's winter time, and he just whops out with like a fire hydrant dick. You scared? You scared, homie? Jeez. So that would be an interesting one, but we got to find a heavily, like,
I know one person who can ask.
Oh, jeez.
For sure.
Either that, or we can go like in the area. There's a lot of bars and stuff.
Expert on that.
Oh, jeez.
She said, "Bring them all on."
Oh.
Multiples at a time. Once you feel resistance, that's too big. What's the question, homie?
He's got a lot of texting here, dog. He's got like 6 text messages. I'm trying to read through here.
It's like, how do you know if you're gay?
What? Hold on. So I guess I'll kind of keep talking as I'm reading this.
It's funny to look at you read. You look like you're reading a riddle.
Hey man, I feel like I am sometimes. All right, so this is a question I kind of got a while ago, and I'll kind of rephrase it just for making sense-wise.
Okay, go for it.
So it's kind of, I guess, would vary on our philosophies on life, and so the question simply is, let's say you get sick, right? Mm-hmm. You and I get sick, and it's like cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is almost like, would you go for treatment or would you not do the treatment? So let's say let's play with that scenario this time around, and then maybe we'll talk about a different one next time. It is actually a question that somebody asked before, not of the podcast, but I heard this recently. So if you had cancer, if you were diagnosed with cancer, would you do the treatment knowing you got to do the chemo, you got to go through all that process?
I think it depends where you have it. Like if it's brain cancer and it's like not like in a very reachable part of your brain, like if it's deep in the middle part or something, in the crunchy part.
In the crunchy part?
Yeah. That's a scientific term, the crunchy part of your brain. If it's deep in there, I don't think you would want to try. I think the side effects are going to kill you way quicker and make you more weaker than the.
Well, no, I mean the treatment is there to like cure you, right? So it's going to make you weak as shit because cancer treatments is always often just radiation to try to decrease the cell's size. But the question is like, do you go for treatment and go through the hassle and stress and physical and mental stress and anguish of the treatment, because cancer treatment is quite hard?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think it just depends. Not do it.
I think it depends where it's at. Like if they're like you have it in your like.
Everywhere it's going to be somewhere fucked up unless it's like skin cancer and they could just remove it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if it's something like that, then yeah, you do what you can. But like if it's in your fucking, like if it's in your nut, fucking take my nut. I don't give a fuck. Would you get a I'm like, I need 2 metal ones. I have some Pokemon marbles at my house. Can you put those in there? I want a Monchomp and like a fucking Charmander. Like, okay.
You know what I want? I want one of those like chimp kettlebells in my nut. You know what I'm saying? Like the one I have in the garage. But you can't see it.
It's in there though, right?
In there.
Just for your knowledge.
I can do kettlebell swings just by...
That way when you're hitting it from the back, she's like, something feels like it's hitting me. Like, that's fucking weird.
You're like, that's right. You know what that is? It's a chimp. That's that chimp, you know what I'm saying? Getting at it too.
You're going to see the dawn on the Planet of the Apes in about a second. You ready for this?
That's a funny thing too. It's like, do you get the fake ball? That way you have like a space saver? Yeah. So you know.
When she was playing the ball, she's like, hey, something's missing here.
You're like, well, I got 2 I got 2 surgery scars there, and one's the natural one, one's the regular one. So you make the math there, lady.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh,
I don't
you
know if
don't see nothing. Choke on it.
I don't know if I'd get a ball like Space Saver. To me, it's just like, first of all, I'm like, what is that made out of? Wood? What are you putting in there? But secondly, I don't know. I don't think balls are that important. But okay, interestingly enough, I do not vividly. That's a wrong word. Now I can't take that back. I threw it out in the world. I remember once watching a porn with a dude and being like, does he not have balls?
Oh, jeez.
I was just like, it's like, he don't have balls.
There should be some resistance in her mouth.
There's the balls are the natural stopping point, dog.
Yeah.
When you hit those, it's like, you're good. You're out of dick. You know what I'm saying? So when you hit the balls, you're out of
sure
dick.
You're not saving some for later?
No. You out of dick at the balls. You know what I'm saying? They're the lifesaver where it's just like, pow. This is where you stop.
There's no more.
There's no more.
She's saying go deeper. You can't.
You're
That's
just like,
all.
I'm gonna try to, hammer it home. That way they pretends like there's more, but that's all you
I'm gonna
get.
give you the phantom sensation of more, but there's no more.
When you get a limb cut off and you can say you can feel it, I'm gonna give you that feeling.
That feeling is what you're gonna get.
But,
another 4 inches.
Yeah, no, I thought that was weird. But back to my point. So, assuming it's a pretty deep cancer, do you go for treatment, knowing that treatment's not gonna be easy? It's not like you're taking penicillin. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go for some fucked up rides with cancer treatment.
Yeah.
And at what point are you like, I'm done, or do you ever say you're done?
I think I definitely say you're done, because like Doctor Strange's brother had cancer.
Of what kind?
I don't know what kind, but it was all over him.
Ugh.
And the thing about people back east, or at least the Christian people I know back east, like they do not understand medicine. Like they do not believe in it.
That's why you gotta get a doctor.
Yeah, they don't understand what doctors do. He was like, yeah, I had this weird lump in my fucking leg for like a year. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, you're dumb. Like I check my dick all the time for lumps. I check all parts of me for lumps and shit. And he
really?
Fucking, I'm like, hey, that's not new, or I'm good. But like he was like, yeah, no, I had this lump on my leg. I didn't get it checked for like a year. I'm like, you're dumb. Like you're stupid. And then when they finally went to the doctor, they were like, yeah, the cancer was like spread to his bones. And I'm like, yeah, because you waited a year. What did you think that was gonna do? Like, what, you think that was gonna go away? That shit don't go away.
Yeah.
So the first thing they did, they prayed over it, because that's what you do. You got to pray over it. And then, they did the treatments or whatever, but it wasn't working. So I guess they tried all the stuff they could and it wasn't working. So they went to, I'm not making this next part up. This is 100%.
Went to a shaman?
No, this is 100% what happened. They met a shady doctor somewhere along the lines. It was some experimental trial. They had to go to Germany to get this experimental trial to try to cure the cancer. I'm not making this up. This is what happened. So the kid who had cancer and his mom went, and they were apparently put up at they were living with some random German lady, and the place where they were getting the experimental treatment was like 2 miles down, and they had to walk 2 miles down, even though the kid had cancer.
Oh, geez. That kid's a fighter.
And I'm like, you're stupid. Like, you're killing him more, because a 2 mile walk when you have cancer and you're getting like whatever experimental treatment, I'm pretty sure that's killing you a little bit quicker than the cancer is at that point, because you're putting your body through more stress.
So what happened to him?
Oh, he's dead now.
Oh, fuck. So like I put myself in this situation. I've talked about this before with other people, not on the podcast, but I'm trying to think. I'm like, more likely than not, I would take treatment for cancer. I don't like the idea of like radiate, because it seems like there's others always options, right? And I think radiation would be something I'd have to definitely just kind of default to if nothing else worked, right? Mm-hmm. And knowing myself, without like stroking my dick here, knowing myself, like I would definitely look at it as a challenge and try to mentally kind of power through it as much as I could, even though like I'm such a bitch when I get sick. Like I'm like, oh, I hate being sick. But I'd have to look at it as a challenge, and you'd have to look at it as something you got to fight towards, fight past in order to kind of get better. Um, but the question of like when would you stop treatment? I guess that question would be for me would be more along the lines of like how much time do I have left? How much I'd have to equate all of this in my head, and it would be how much time do I have left? What's the quality of life moving forward? What where am I in life? Like, am I already older? Am I younger? And what's the death like going with the chemo, continuing chemo, and then what's the death like without any medication at all?
That's what I'm thinking too. It's like, okay, if I go to chemo and they put all that shit in me and they do all that shit that chemo has, like, and I'm fucking just horrible for the next 5-6 months, however long the treatment is for, or a year or whatever it is. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be fucked up for a year. But if they say, hey, you got that brain cancer, you're gonna be pretty good, but one day you're just not gonna wake up. But you'll be pretty good for next year. And be like, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this pretty hard here, because they're probably gonna be like, yeah, and also the chemo might not work, and also you just fucked yourself a whole year of time because now you're sick in a bed all the time because you're so weak you can't move. I swear, if you wouldn't have done anything, you would have had a pretty good year still. You would have had a pretty decent year.
Yeah, but see, you also have to take into consideration the fact that even though you would have had a decent year, you could have had a fucked up, painful death.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. You got to take it all into like consideration.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, this is such a fantastical situation that like there's so many variables I'm not aware of, so I can't make a decision on what I would do. But that's a hard one. That's a hard one because I like to think being sick is one of the things I don't like the idea of, and that's why when we talked last week about aging and whether I would want like a slow, easy paced life where I live very long but just have a pretty mute and very basic lifestyle versus going like balls in the wall and going really hard in the paint, but living a very short life but experiencing a lot. I would still want like the fast experiencing a lot life, because I'm telling you, a little bit of my fear is that old age, and I think there's in the not fearing getting old about like looking bad. No, I don't give a shit about that. It's more about fear of incontinence, not being able to take care of myself and not being able to do things for myself. And like, I know that I look at old people and I see and they get upset about losing their driver's license, and like I understand it because I see myself like if I was in that position and I am old enough where I think I'm still able to take care of myself, but then they're like, no, you can't drive because you're a crazy driver or you can't handle it. That would be a blow to my like ego in a sense. And I think being sick is part of that. Like when I was very young, so I don't know if I've ever told you the story. When I was very young, I broke my wrist once. I was going rollerblading in a park and I fell, and I, like an idiot, I landed on trying to stop my fall, and I cracked my wrist, and that's probably like my only fracture that I've ever had in my life. And I remember like going back home the next day. I woke up and I was my hand hurting like a mofo, and I remember trying to tie my shoes and I couldn't. Like I was in so much pain and I had so little strength in that hand that I could not tie my shoes. And I remember being like emotionally broken as a kid, and I was very young, but I remember being like very emotionally like scarred because I remember just thinking like not being able to take care of myself, and that was such a big thing for me. And if I apply that same mindset into the future, like that's so big for me. And that's another reason why like I wouldn't want to live to an age where I'm really like feeble and old and almost like a burden to either my family or society. And I'd rather just live hard and fast and whatever. I'm not afraid of dying, but I'm also not in the position where I want to be sick all my life either. So that cancer question is, although a very, very good question, it's hard to answer. I would definitely try to do research and definitely try to find whatever logically makes sense in my head. I would take everything in a box in my head, plug in all the variables, and then compute as many times as possible to try to figure out what would logically be the best case scenario and also the most life fulfilling to that with the time I had left, and compute then. But that's a hard one. But I think I would definitely seek treatment, and I'm not afraid of going through like chemo, but it's also the idea that, because I know it's not going to be easy whatsoever.
Yeah.
But with my mindset, I think I would definitely try to look at it as a challenge and try to power through it. But at some point, you do have to constantly weigh those variables of, are you getting better? Are you not getting better? How much time do I have? What's the quality of life on or off treatment? So that's a hard one, man.
Yeah.
That's a good question from Splinter Cell. Thanks, Splinter Cell. I'll read some of the other ones. I'll get back to you on some of these other questions, and I'll get them in bullet point versions. That way next week we can answer a handful of them, which would be good conversation, because I think that's one of the reasons why, as I said a million times, I started the podcast, was to prompt good conversation with people. But it would also be nice to have other people's opinions and shit.
You need to, we should just heavily promote people to ask questions on our social media.
You should ask us questions.
You too. On your social media too.
Oh, you mean in addition to this?
Yeah.
Me saying it right now. Oh, I got you. I will do that. I'm going to be like, hey, give me questions.
I'm asking my students. I'm be like, hey, you got any questions? Or I'm be like, what is triangles?
Yeah, don't ask your students. They don't have fundamentals of the concepts of real life yet.
I'm not going to see them for another week. So ask some other people, though.
So that's it, man. That is an hour of podcasting fun. I feel like I didn't meet my dick joke quota for today, but I'll make up for it next week.
All right, I got you one. I got you because we talked about a very serious subject. Dying of cancer. It's a very serious subject.
You want to end with a lighthearted subject?
I want to end with a lighthearted feel for
what you got
for everybody. All right, I'm on our old friend, the Urban Dictionary.
It's your new thing, isn't it?
It's easier than coming up with new what makes you a hoe, even though I have a few. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Doctor baiting.
Doctor baiting? What is that?
When your experience level in masturbating has reached the pinnacle of the field and has been established as an expert in the field.
She's just really good at masturbating.
Example, in the sentence, of course. My girlfriend caught me doctor baiting and was impressed with my level of skill achieved.
Oh, jeez. Ugh.
I'm not exactly sure what all that means. I don't think I've reached that level.
I don't know what that means either. So, are you like your technique's so on point that your girl's like, "Hey, that's good. Fun. That's good." Although I am disappointed that we're not having sex. I think I understand why we're not having sex. Let me so good at it.
Let me real quick DJ Hero to that. I don't know.
And it just becomes like an orchestra where she's DJ Heroing your fat beats off your dick or something.
Mm-hmm. Just that exact thing.
Like, in the dick world, like your dick would be like the trombone, and she'd be DJ Heroing the trombone lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right.
They call that the orchestra.
Is that what they do? They call that the orchestra?
I'm gonna make that up right now. It's gonna be the orchestra. Is gonna be code for when instead of you guys just doing it, you both just decided to DJ Hero to each other, like some sort of weird sexting, Skyping sext kind of thing.
Oh,
it's like a long distance thing, but in the same room. The orchestra. Geez. Oh, snap!
You might have to put that on there.
I might have invented something, ladies and gentlemen.
The orchestra.
Hashtag the orchestra. When you're talking about your experiences with your lady or guy, gal. Wait, what? Your lady or guy. Orchestra experiences. Let me know what's up.
Just like the other one we came up with, which was Hawaiian shaved ice.
Oh, yeah. We need to add that one in there.
Hawaiian shaved ice.
What the hell that mean again?
When it's completely shaved down in that south mouth.
Hawaiian shaved ice.
Shout out to that Snow Complex.
Oh man, yeah. So go out there, people. Go out there and get that orchestra out and let me know how that goes. Use a word.
The orchestra.